Hello, this is Geeks Assembled, and audio heads for today is our podcast about Wolverine, the Long Night.
Yeah,
This is a story about uh, Logan and his retirement to Alaska. Basically, I think it's set right in the same time frame as old Logan, the movie that came out recently, and but it doesn't really talk about many of the other figures of the time because there's enough going on in this one for it to be kind of a big deal anyway. Um, it's 10 episodes long,
yeah,
and just gonna the first season anyway. There is a second season of this, and but this is a good story. It's and it stars Richard Armitage, who played Thorin Oakenshield in the Hobbit movies. And so yeah, he's the main Logan character in this. And so I'm just going to turn this over to Lee for his opening thoughts. And you will notice when he turns his back around that he's wearing a Deadpool shirt because apparently Wolverine and Deadpool are together at last, I guess. And there's something coming up in the movie theaters
yeah.
and in the future. And so turning it over to you. What's your opening thoughts?
Well, I just came across this, browsing the audios, and I'd never listened to this before. I've never heard of it. Um, so I thought, oh, we'll give this a go. 10 episodes. Sometimes you think, oh, that's going to be a long haul.
And it
But
was it was to me.
well, I did maybe a couple of episodes per night. That was, just
Oh,
that's what I do. I just split it up.
okay.
But it's as you say, it's in Alaska. It doesn't really state when it's set, but I got the feeling of old Logan.
Yeah.
Um, but I got it had the feel of because you had these two FBI agents searching on this murder case. Um, it got the feeling of Twin Peaks to it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and the two the man and the woman agents have gone to this town of what town was it?
Fairhaven,
Uh,
Alaska.
um, can't remember what it said now. Uh,
Burns,
Bur-
Alaska.
Burns, yeah.
Sorry.
To investigate these bodies what were found on the boat. While they're investigating that, because these bodies are being slashed and hacked,
Hmm.
clawed, um, the they found out that there's been other mysterious deaths before that. Two women, in the town, and
Hmm.
so they're putting two and two together here. But the local sheriff isn't having none of it. Um, so you've got everything in this. You've got the local sheriff who's opposing the FBI agents. You've got the um, satanic satanic worshippers with prophet in the
Down
so you've
in
got
down
everything in
in
it.
the basement or down in the tunnels.
Caverns, yeah. You get clips of Logan here and there through the episodes, but while people are telling their story of what's happened, but we don't actually meet Logan until the last episode.
I know.
Yeah, which I thought was a bit of a shame, but it worked. It did work, but I thought they could have evolved Logan a little bit more in the the episodes leading up to the final episode.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Right.
I thought Richard Armitage did a good job as Wolverine.
I do too.
I mean, he's a very well-known British actor.
Uh-huh.
Um, he's been in many of things. He played the Tooth Fairy in the Hannibal TV series. He was in the Robin Hood series for the BBC. Um, he's even done Big Finish Audio
Yeah, he
recently,
is.
playing Rassilon.
He is
Uh,
Rassilon in
yeah,
the Gallifrey series.
it's the latest incarnation.
Yeah, yeah,
So
but in the Gallifrey series. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So he gets about.
Yeah, he does. That's right. He
But
does.
I did enjoy this. I mean, yeah, the only thing against it for me was Wolverine should have been in it a little bit more in the episodes leading up to the final one.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it was a good mystery story. It was, a small town in Alaska, closing the doors to these FBI agents and lied to them, and they're find out. And then at the end of come to the end of the story, you find out these agents aren't real.
Well, they
They're
are.
they're,
They're
they're
they they're characters.
sentinels,
They are sentinels and they are robotic. But they
AI, the AI artificial. Um, because in the comics and in the cartoons of the X-Men, the Sentinels are these huge robots who are out there to capture mutants and destroy mutants.
oh.
And these
Oh,
Sentinels
are those the ones with like the six eyes?
they've
No,
usually got like they're usually giant robots with humanoid shape. Um, I don't think they've got six eyes though. And
all right.
but when they called themselves Sentinels, I thought, well, right. So whose side are they on? And then
It's
now you
not
know why
clear.
there was after Logan. Yeah, because Logan was part of Weapon X, a
Yeah.
government-run armed secret forces or whatever. So was these Sentinel agents sent to recapture Logan and bring him back to Weapon X? Because you don't really find that out. I know there's a sequel to this, another 10 episode, which I haven't listened to. Um,
Nor have I. I was challenged to listen to these 10.
and
The only trouble with listening to this group of stories was that I was not able to find a platform where I could adjust the listening speed,
oh yeah,
and so it just dragged. It was normal speech speed, and I
mm. but
can't.
but the this 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 drama was such a success that a graphic novel was produced after this.
Uh-huh.
So so it did good. People liked it, so we'll do a graphic novel of the story. Um, so I did like some good. I mean, I haven't really heard of any of the other actors' names before. We've got a sister and brother in here. One playing Sally Pierce and one playing Bobby.
Yep.
But I've never heard of these actors. I suppose they've been in TV stuff, but say the only one I
Bob
have heard of.
Balaban, he was in a lot of things. he's known for playing in some pretty quasi obscure stuff. He's in Mighty Wind. He's in Gosford Park. He's in Close
Mm.
Encounters, and he's in Capote.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah,
So
so that's
it's just that the names just didn't ring a bell with me apart from Richard Armitage, like so. But I didn't. I enjoyed it. I thought, because I thought 10 episodes, 30 minutes an episode. I'm gonna have to split this up during the week, and it worked better for me that way. Um, but yeah, it was and you got the feel of the town in Alaska. Felt the cold, the wind, and the snow.
yeah.
The soundscape was brilliant. I thought the storytelling was great. I suppose the sequel will carry on from where it left off, and I suppose Logan being it more. Um, who knows? I'm just looking at a cast list for the sequel. You have got a couple of X-Men in there.
Oh yeah.
Well, you've got Gambit's in there. Um,
Oh okay.
I don't know if is Mastermind a X-Men or a villain. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it, Susan. So I'm going to back to you.
Yeah. So it was the script was written to make Logan not so pristine um protagonist. He's actually got a lot of different depths to him, and that was good. And the Sentinels, like they were, I love the fact that the Sentinels were made out to be FBI agents because that's kind of the way you think of what you think robots would get up to
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah. And you know, the sheriff really stood against the FBI, and
Mhm.
that's sort of a trope in
Many things.
things. Yeah, it is kind of a like that separation from the locals and the feds always, and then the way that uh they describe the kid, what's his name, um uh,
Okay.
the boy Judson or whatever. He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Hudson. Yeah, he's got issues, and the way that they told the story about how he was affected and how he basically um been the way he was since birth.
Mm.
I mean, his father hated him so much for having like clawed his way out of his mother's womb at 9 months. I mean, you just gotta. I mean, it's like yeah, the cult was down there, and it's funny because you can tell that this idea of a cult was lifted out of near my hometown in Montana because the lead guy was named Prophet and Nicholas Prophet, and the cult down across the mountain range from us was headed by a woman named Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And they were
Oh,
actually burying boxcars and digging tunnels and into the mountainside, and it's very similar. and the
Oh,
fact
right.
that it's in Montana versus Alaska, that kind of, they just took, they took basically the whole wholesale use of Church Universal and Triumphant and put it right in the center of this story. And that was interesting because, I get a little homesick for my hometown, and this was a this was something somewhat interesting and had some resonance that was the
Mm,
same. And I liked their use of the Goodnight Moon book. Good night, nobody.
yeah.
Or what is it? Good night, no one or something? Anyway, so one of those two. And it was like, yeah, I love that book anyway. That was one of my favorite books as a
Good night,
kid.
nobody. Good night, nobody.
Good night, moon. Yeah. Good night, nobody.
Yeah.
And it was just a white script on a black page. So cool. And yeah, I thought the acting in it was great. Did tend to drag a little bit. I mean, there just wasn't uh David Call, uh the way he played Hudson, he slowed him down too much for me. Because
Mm.
I just know that these characters, these superhuman characters, these soups, as it were would be a lot more zing bada bing. But anyway, so I enjoyed it, and I will listen to the second part. It was a good find, Lee. And we definitely need to review Deadpool, Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine, however they title the movie when it comes
Mm.
out soon. And yeah, I'd like to do a shout out to people to, if you've got Disney Plus, there is the X-Men 97.
There
It's
is,
a
yeah.
sort of a newer production of the old thing.
It's a
And
continuation.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they apparently use the same animation style, the same voices, the same story structures. So it's good. It's really good. It'll bring you back. And yeah, uh that's all I've got for any, do you want to say anything more, Lee?
Yeah. So no, I enjoyed it. I got into it. I lost myself in Alaska. Um,
Yeah.
when I said you've got the feel of Twin Peaks, this sort of this is what I was picturing it to be like. So thanks, David Lynch, for that.
Thank you,
Uh,
David Lynch. Hmm.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the only negative for me, I didn't find it dragged. I just found it that Logan should have been in it more
Hmm.
than these little snippets here and there leading up to episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the only thing, but I enjoyed it. And I will mostly listen to the sequel to see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my final say. So,
All
do you want me
right.
to
So what's your rating out of 10?
go? I'm going to give it 9 claws out of 10, just
Oh,
because
nice.
just because of the lack of Logan in
All
it.
right.
No.
And I'll give this 9 uh sunsets at the equinox out of 10. It's
Mm.
it is amazing that there are places in Alaska where you get 30 days of darkness. And yeah, they
Big
made a
night.
movie about that, which we reviewed. But this one's about like the coming darkness where the sun hardly rises. And that's those are pretty great times too. So yeah. Do have a do have a if you have a chance to find it, it is available on your iTunes podcast. Uh, and it's 10 episodes, and then it continues on after 11 through 20 with the second season. And uh, let's see. Um, if you'd like to listen to audios with us, let Lee know.
Mhm.
Drop a little bit of your contact information to him in DM or whatever. And then
Yeah,
you've got yourself a device with a camera and a microphone, and you can use Zoom, and you can come and join us at 9 p.m. on Sunday, 9 p.m. UK time on a Sunday. We'd be happy to have you. Um, yeah, do do watch all of our videos about audio dramas that we've reviewed. We've reviewed quite a few different companies, but we
yeah,
do like what Richard Armitage did. I do anyway. Like I know we haven't gotten that far in Gallifrey. Um, for him playing Rassilon. I mean, anyway, it's fun. So
it's
it's a
always
good
fun.
series anyway. And yeah, so do subscribe to our channel once you listen to this one, and um, yeah, hit the bell notification. There we go. And also like it and drop a comment below. Uh, do you watch the X-Men cartoons? Do you watch the X-Men movies? Are you looking forward to Deadpool getting a two-hander with Wolverine? Um, what kind of experience have you had in Alaska? Are
Mm.
are you a member of a cult? Do you have a yen to travel to other dimensions by underground transportation? I mean, these are questions that we have to ask. We have to ask you guys because yeah, I'm pretty sure that yeah, I've been to other dimensions and stuff, but yeah, do come back next fortnight, next in 2 weeks, please, and join us again on Audio Heads from Geeks Assembled.